Good evening. I'd like to start the Derry Conservation Commission meeting. Call to order. We'll start off with a Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the emergency exits are located at the back of the room and to my right. If there is an emergency, please don't use the elevators, use the stairs. If you need assistance, just reach out to one of the commissioners to help you. Please silence your cell phones, and we'll start off with introductions, starting to my left.
Rick Metz, good evening.
Grace Reisdorf.
Paul Dion, good evening.
And I'm Vice Chair, Acting Chair, Rick Bazanga. We're going to start things off with approval of minutes from the previous meeting. You should have had them for a while.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Approve, actually.
Okay, so we have a motion by Paul, seconded by Grace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Just to step back, everyone here is a member. There's no alternates here, right? Yeah, and we have enough as a quorum. Chair's report, correspondence. We have one piece of correspondence for property at 343 Island Pond Road, Derry. It was a DES notice for a return for an application for a subdivision that was incomplete. So they responded to the applicant and asked for a more complete application. I'll pass it to my right, the commissioners to take a peek at it. Next, we have committee assignments. I've developed committee assignments, and I'm going to kind of do it as one blanket motion, and then we can open it up for discussion. So here's the following committee assignments. Personnel will be chaired by Rick Metz. The member on that committee will be myself. The Community Garden Committee is impaneled but does not have a chair at the moment. It's TBA for both the chair and the members. Until we have a chair for the Community Garden Committee, I will report out for that committee. State Compliance will be chaired by Eileen Chabot. And Eileen, I'm going to ask her to pick her own commissioner to join her on that committee. Land Acquisition, chaired by Paul Dion, and myself as a member of that committee. Land Maintenance will be chaired by Robert Sproul, and I'll ask Robert for his thoughts and who he wants to add to his committee. Reporting Compliance will be chaired again by Paul Dion, and he will be assisted by Grace Reisdorf. TRC will be chaired by myself, and the member on that committee will be Rick Metz. Rick Metz has a lot of experience at the TRC when he served as a town councilor and town council president. Public Outreach will be chaired by Grace Reisdorf, and she is going to go on a nationwide search for her help on that committee. I'll take a second on the committees first, and then we can open it up for discussion.
So moved.
All right, so we have we have a motion by Rick Metz, seconded by Grace, and we're going to open actually, we don't. We're going to hold the second, Grace. We have a motion on the floor. Let's open it for discussion, and then we can.
Second the motion.
Okay, all right. So we have a motion on the floor by Rick Metz for discussion. This is not to approve the committees, but to discuss the committees, and it's seconded by Grace. And I'll open it up for discussion. We'll start to my left, Bob. How do you feel about committees? Questions about committees? Questions about your chairing the committee, land maintenance? Okay. Mr. Metz?
I'm fine with what you've laid out.
Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
And Grace?
What did you say I'm on with Paul?
You are on
Land acquisition.
your
Planning and compliance.
reporting and compliance. Paul is chairing. You are, so that would be the SALT reports, the land surveys, all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. And
And you guys are going to have a lot of help on that by our land manager. Okay, and we'll talk about the land manager and new business. We have quite a bit to discuss about that. All right, so before I entertain a motion to approve the committees, my thinking on the committees is going to be, we will have a standing agenda item for committee reports. During that agenda, the committee will either report or not report. I'd like to have the committee, if the chair is present or the member is present, at least, if there's no report, just state that there's no report, so we have documented that everything has been done, and I expect these committees to be a self-motivated group of 2 people that tackle the specific tasks on that committee, and then bring it back to the commission as a whole. Any questions on any of that? Okay, seeing no questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept these committees as they are laid out. They'll be laid out in the minutes, and I have something I can pass around after that.
Well, we have a motion and a second, we just have to,
Vote.
I think the motion in the second was on the discussion.
no, the discussion is.
we have to have a motion and a second to discuss.
Okay.
So all we have to do is vote on it.
Okay, so then why don't we do a roll call vote on this one item? This is to empanel these committees and elect those people as chairs. And I'll start with you, Bob. Yes. Rick?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Paul?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's unanimous. All right, committees are done. Next, we have election of officers. I'm gonna do these separately. First off, as secretary, now we have officers now, but I don't think we actually ever had a vote.
Yeah, we did last April.
Oh, we did, on these officers?
So I'm the standing secretary.
So maybe
Lean's the standing treasurer.
maybe I missed that meeting. But as acting chair, I'm gonna start that again. And, because we have to also vote for a chair tonight. Because again, I'm acting chair and vice chair, but I'm not the chair. So as vice chair, I nominate Rick Metz as vice chair, and I will need a second on that.
Second?
All right, so we have nomination and a second by Grace, and we'll do a roll call on these also. We'll start with you, Bob. Yes. Rick?
Abstain.
I vote yes. Paul?
Yes.
And Grace?
Yes.
So 4 and 1 abstention, that carries. The second officer is going to be for treasurer, and that's going to be Eileen Chabot. And before I accept a motion on that position's going to change pretty dramatically with the addition of 2 paid employees. Both paid employees are going to have to submit timesheets to the treasurer that have to be approved and submitted to the town. And the treasurer is going to be responsible for the budget that we're allotted for those employees and make sure that we stay within that budget. So the treasurer's position is not going to just be, can you approve a check to this person anymore? It's gonna have a little bit more responsibility. That being said, I nominate Eileen Chabot for the treasurer, and I'll entertain a motion to that.
Do we have permission to?
Yeah, she accepted it.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't want to blindside her. I'll second that. Is that what I'm doing?
Yes. All right, so we have a first and a second roll call vote starting to my left. Yes.
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Yes.
Okay. Additionally, on the treasurers, is those bills, after they're approved by the commission, again, previously it was a little haphazard, those bills have to make their way to Sheila Bodenrader quickly. They can't hang around. They need to be done, so that's something that Eileen will figure out a way to get that. Next officer is secretary, and I nominate Paul Dion, and before we move on that, the secretary position is going to change pretty remarkably with now that we have a permanent paid recording secretary. The secretary is going to work with that recording secretary to get the draft minutes to the commissioners in a much more timely way, and to get the minutes to the town in a way that's acceptable to the town, where they're endorsed by the secretary and signed off on. I also expect the secretary, with the help of the recording secretary, to take care of much more written communication to the town, to the state, and to and covering the type of business that the Conservation Commission does. We haven't been real aggressive in soliciting conservation properties. I expect to get much more aggressive in doing that, and so that job's going to change also a little bit in comparison to it's been in the past. So again, I nominate Paul Dion as secretary, and I'll entertain a motion. All right, so we have a first and a second by Bob, and we'll also do a roll call on that, starting with you, Bob. Rick?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
I'll abstain.
Paul abstains. Grace, yes. So that is enough votes. Okay. Other business. I'll start with other business with, I briefly talked about the land manager job. We have up to 6 applicants now for the land manager position. As I've been getting them through the town, through the HR department, I've been forwarding them to Mr. Metz, and Mr. Metz and I have been reviewing them. We hope to start, the first process was trying to get these committees and panels, so Mr. Metz and I are going to start the interview process with those land manager applicants, and we hope to have someone hired in time to facilitate the public garden project. So I'm thinking we probably need to have someone boots on the ground and trained by, I would say, February or March. That's probably when the public garden list gets developed and things like that. So Mr. Metz and I will be working on coming here to Town Hall and interviewing those prospective candidates. That's where we are on that. Any questions on that? We've got some great applicants too, really great applicants. Yeah. That's all I have for other business. Does anyone else have any other business they want to bring forward?
Yeah, I'd like to suggest that, not the next meeting, one of the meetings in February, we have a non-public on the top 10 list. Excuse me, Mr. Chair. Oh, sorry. I'd recommend that we have a non-public meeting to go over our top 10 list of potential land acquisitions. I haven't seen it since I've been back, and since I'm going to be chairing the land acquisition, I think we should take a look at what the baseline is.
Right. I also, Paul, don't think that maybe at least 2 of the members know what how the scoring criteria works on that list. So we have to bring people up to speed on that.
Yep.
Also. Yeah, and hopefully that list will be developed and things that we talked about before, so we can start generating some interest from those landowners that may not know the benefits of conservation, and start getting some communications off to them. I'm sure we haven't done that in 10 years or so. I've been here at least 15, and I know I haven't seen it done in a long time, so there could be new owners on those properties, heirs, a lot have changed, because a lot of those properties have been on our list since I've been here, and nothing's happened with them. So that's a great idea, Paul, I like that. You're gonna be in charge of the agenda, so it's gonna be pretty easy for you to add something to it. Anything else? I do need a nomination for chair.
I'd like to move Rick Bazanga nominated for chair.
And so we have a first by Rick Metz. I need a second.
You should actually abstain.
Yeah, I need a second.
Yeah, I'll make the second.
So seconded by Paul.
No, I mean, you shouldn't be involved, and you should just be sitting there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna vote. I'm just gonna quarterback it. So we got a first by Rick, second by Paul.
I know what Paul means.
Yeah, we'll do a roll call on that. Bob? Yes. Rick?
Yes.
Chair abstains. Paul?
Yes.
Grace?
Yes.
Okay, that's 4. That carries. And that's all I have. If anyone else has anything else, chime in now. If not, I'll take the best motion of the night.
Motion to adjourn.
It's a good motion. We have a motion on the floor to
Second.
adjourn, seconded by Grace. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, none. It is
7:14?
7:16. We got a lot done. Thank you.